Okay. Okay, guys. So let us start the session. Okay. So on last class, we have discussed about what is Tosca. Okay. So introduction of Tosca. So today also we will do the same thing. Like we'll see how the Tosca will work and how the Tosca will look like. What are the major things we have in Tosca. Okay. So what is a Tosca? Tosca is an automation tool which is similar to Selenium, right? So yeah. So one second. Yeah. So same, what is Tosca? Tosca is an automation tool. Just we will revise it and then we will go for the concept. Okay. So we have mainly two major tools in market. First one is Selenium and second one is Tosca Commander. So Selenium is an open source, we all know, and Tosca is a licensed tool. Okay. Next, Selenium mainly relies on heavy on coding. Okay, heavily on coding means we need to write a lot of code to automate web application or API testing, any kind of test cases. Okay, we have a zero code automation means we won't write any code. Okay, so Selenium doesn't have any dedicated support. Since it is a free tool, there will be no support team. Since it is a licensed tool, we will have the support team in place. Okay, Tricentis will have dedicated support team. So how to get the support team details is like support.tosca. Okay. So support.tosca or support.hub.tosca. Okay. Here you need to log in with the credentials and you can put all your questions. Okay. They will answer it. Okay. Next one. Very hard to understand the code. Since it is a coding tool, it is very hard to understand. Okay. So coming to Tosca, since it is a no code is involved, then it is easy to understand. Okay, since there is no code is involved, so it is very easy to learn the Tosca compared to Selenium. So that's why we have opted for Tosca command. Okay, so till here everyone is clear, right? Next one, introduction of Tosca. Okay, so what is introduction? Like what is Tosca exactly? Okay, so Tosca is a software testing tool that is used to automate end-to-end testing for the software application. Okay, for example, if you want to automate any particular application or any particular testing from end to end, for example, we have different applications, right? There will be a banking project, there can be any kind of project. Okay, so we will have any kind of projects. Okay, for example, this is the banking application where you can log in and you can do all your transactions, right? For example, if there is any small enhancement has happened on the application side, okay, so if there is any enhancement means, for example, there is new field added here. Okay, what we need to do, being a tester, we need to do the regression testing for each and every field. We need to see whether username is working fine or not, and withdraw section is working fine or not, since we have added new modules. Okay, since we have added new module, we need to check whether these all are working fine or not. Okay, so that's where the Tosca will comes into picture. Okay. And majorly you need to remember, like it is developed by the company called Tricentis. Okay. So Tosca has been developed by a company called Tricentis. So Tricentis in sense how we have Microsoft, right? So Microsoft will do all Excel or PowerPoint or anything. Okay. So we have a lot of things. Amazon, there is an Amazon company which it will provide Amazon Primes, Amazon AWS services, everything it will provide. Means it is one of the tool. AWS is one of the tool of Amazon. Similarly, Tosca or Tosca Commander, it is a product of Tricentis. Okay, you need to remember this. Okay, next one. It is very easy to learn. Since there is no code, obviously it is very easy, right? So next, Tosca is the model-based application. Yes, Tosca is the model-based application. Means instead of writing, we will have mainly two types. Okay, so we will in tool perspective, we will have scripting tool and model-based. Okay, we'll see how it will look like. Okay, so and the first interview questions, mostly in most of the interviews, they will ask this question. So Tosca test suite contains how many components? Say they will ask, can you please explain the components of Tosca? Okay, so they will ask you what are the components of Tosca. So you need to tell them we have majorly four components of the Tosca, like Tosca Commander. Okay, means in order to run a test case from end to end, the any tool will have some its own components. Like one component will do one work, one component will do one work and so on. For example, we have 100% of work. In our team, we have 5 members. What we will do? 20, 20, 20% we will distribute it, right? On the same way, and if you talk about the life cycle, right? So it will start from one, means it will start from requirement till test closure. Okay. So now the first interview question, what they will ask, what are the components of Tosca? Okay. So we have majorly 4 components of the Tosca: Tosca Commander, Tosca Executor, Tosca Xcan, and Test Repository. Okay. So means Tosca Commander is an IDE. Okay. Integrated Development Environment. Means in order to build any code, we need to have one interface, right? It is also same. Okay. Executor, in names itself, it is telling like it has one executor, means we need to execute the test cases. Okay. Next, Xscan, in order to scan the module. Okay. Just remember the name. In depth, when we are dealing with modules, right? In depth knowledge, we will learn. Okay. Next one is in order to store all your work, either your test cases, either your requirement section, either your test planning section, everything will be there in the test repository. Okay. So we need to understand this concept. Okay. So if somebody is asking you what are the components of Tosca, then remember guys, again, I'm telling you, if somebody is asking you components, don't tell the other things. Okay. We will have sections as well. Okay. You need to mainly concentrate on components alone. Okay. Next one. As I said, what type of tool it is? It is a model-based application. We will see it. How exactly Tosca is called as model-based tool. Okay. So instead of using scripting for testing automation, Tricentis Tosca appeals as a model-based testing approach. Means it is a model-based approach testing and creates a model for the application under test. Application under test in sense normally a front-end application. Okay. Like this, like we have any e-commerce website, we will have Flipkart. Okay. So we will have Flipkart, we will have Amazon. So everything. Okay. So we will have all these things. Okay. So these all are system under test. Okay. So we will call it as normally on the terminology side. Okay. Now we will mainly concentrate on this model based testing approach. Okay. So they will ask you, okay, what is model based testing approach? See, there, as I said earlier, previously, we will have mainly 2 types of testing tools. Okay. Any kind of tools. One is script based tool. Okay. So what is script based tool? We will write the script. Simple. Okay. So there is Eclipse. Okay. So in Eclipse, we will write the code for Selenium. Okay. Selenium WebDriver, we will call it as, since it is dealing with web. Okay. So see. Yeah. So where is this? It will open. Okay. So means what we will do, we will write the script on the interface or IDE. Okay. So IDE, so this is the IDE. So Eclipse IDE means integrated development environment, where we will develop our actual code. Okay. So where we will develop the code. Okay. We will develop our code where we want to exactly run it. Okay. So we will write all these things. Okay. Now we need to understand difference, main difference with script based tool and model based tool. So we will write the script here. Okay. And next one, model based tool means model in the sense already any particular tool will already write their own code. Okay. Means they will write the code and they will give it like a module. Okay. So means what it will do, it will mainly write the code and it will give it to you. So we will see it. Okay. So just don't concentrate on anything. Just see how actually it will work. Okay. See, for example, if there is any particular URL you need to open. Okay. See, it is already provided by the Tricentis. See, simply what you need to do, you need to use this model based tool. Since it is a model based tool, this model, you need to use it. Okay. But you may get doubt. For example, see, here there is an application where you can see username like this and password here. But here for the login, you can see username in a different way, right? So see, here login is different, here login is different. But what you can see is like opening URL is same. but URL is different. But the way how you are opening is same. Means what you need to do, you need to double click on the respective Chrome browser. Else you need to launch the Chrome browser. So first of all, we need to launch the Chrome browser. Then only we can open all these applications, right? So that's where what the Tosca has done. See, the Tosca has done this. Okay, so there is a open URL. Okay, so in the open URL, see, it has provided the code in a such a way. See, here you need to write the code, but here Tricentis has provided the code. Okay, see, you need to use that particular respective modules into the test cases. So we will see one by one. Not only this, what is the advantage of it? You can automate the SAP modules where you can log on and log off. So mostly SAP will be in the tabular format. Okay. So what you need to do? You need to scan the tables. I will tell you how to scan it. You can drop an email, you can automate any emails, you can do database testing. Okay. Even you can import the Selenium code as. Okay. You can import the Selenium code. You need to give the port and you can run the Selenium code here using Tosca. Okay. And you can operate files as well. Like for example, most of the companies will do file, whether the file is exist or not, whether the file, what file we have, how to read the file, how to delete the file, how to compare everything we will have it here. Okay. Everything. See, you can see, for example, you can start it, you can clear the browser, you can clear the cache, you can do whatever things you want to do, you can do it. Okay. So you can automate the database testing, see database. And one more thing, you can do Excel as well. See, for example, most of the companies, we will have Excel data, right? For example, you need to open the Excel workbook and you need to close the workbook and you need to capture the data from an Excel sheet. Okay. So any particular, okay. So any particular, one second, I will show you. Okay. For example, if you have any data, any Excel sheet data, right? So what you need to do, you need to capture the data. Okay. So means you need to capture the first attribute. And yeah, somebody's asking any doubt. Wait, guys, I will give you time. Okay, go on mute, please. See, for example, you have separate data. Okay, here you can see any one particular data. For example, you want to capture these values and you want to pass it in the application, right? So how you will automate it? You need to open this browser, everything we will discuss. For example, I want to know, for example, Luis, there is a person called Luis. I want to know what his exam points, whether the exam point is loaded correctly or not. Means, for example, there is a person called Louis. Okay. So that person, how many points he got? It is 11, right? So we need to verify whether the 11 is correct or not. So we are talking about less amount of the data. For example, you have huge amount of the data and you want to pass every data inside the application. How you will do? You need to do the automation. Manually, if you are trying to do, so you need to copy it, you need to paste it, you need to dump it in the data, right? But here the Tosca will use this all modules. See, this is called model-based tool. Okay. So model-based tool in the sense they will already write the code in a such a way like model and they will do it. Means they will compare the data, they will extract the data, they will buffer the data, means they will store the data, they will verify the data in the Excel sheet and so on. In the further sections, we will clearly see everything in detail. Okay. And one more thing is like 1:1 comparison of PDF. For example, you will have two PDFs, like similar PDFs with huge amount of data. For example, you have 5 millions of records or any n number of data. Okay. So what you will do? You will compare the data using 1:1 comparison. Okay. So using 1:1 comparison, you can easily compare the data. Okay. You need to give respective values. Okay. Now we are not discussing anything. In order to tell you, see, for example, there is a PDF comparison. You want to compare two PDFs. You can compare it. Okay. So what not? Everything can be automated. And API testing. See, API scans, you can do it. Okay. So you can scan the API and you can give the endpoints and you can do whatever you want to do. You can do it. Okay. So everything you can do it using Tosca. Okay, see, API scan, you can give all your resources and so on. Okay, you can capture the value. For example, there is a database and you want to capture the data from the database. Okay, you can do it. We will cover everything. See, mobile application. If there is a mobile application, how you will automate the mobile application using Tosca. Okay, so everything we will have it. Okay, so you can use .NET, you can use HTML in this sense. What are the modules we can? We can automate the Salesforce application, whatnot, any application. We can also automate the desktop application as well. Okay, so okay, now you have understood the basics, like what is the difference between a script-based tool and model-based. Okay, so script-based tool in the sense you will write the script. Okay, so model-based tool in the sense it will be already written in the code and you need to understand the code. Simple. Okay, so you need to use it. We will use everything. Okay, next. So if somebody is asking you interview questions, they will ask this. Okay, what are the sections and components in Tosca? Okay, first one is like components. Okay, components. They will ask you. You will tell like Tosca commander, executor, xcan, and repository. They will ask you. Can you please elaborate it? They will ask. Okay, so it is like an IDE. So use it for the creating project. So in order to create any project, we will use IDEs. Okay, so how the Tosca will look like? I showed you, right? So this is the Tosca. Okay, so this is how it will look like. We will give you the installation. We will tell you how to scan the module, everything basic, from very basic we will cover. Okay, from very basic we will cover. Next, so once it is done, right? So the Tosca commander, sections and components of Tosca, like it's like an IDE, use it for creating a project. Okay, we will create the project. Next one is like Tosca executor, use it to execute the test cases from Tosca command. Means in order to execute n number of test cases, for example, we will have huge amount of test cases, right? In that case, we will take the help of executor and we will run hundreds of test cases. Okay, so that is how it will work. Next, Tosca Xscan. Tosca Xscan is nothing but if you want to scan any particular module. For example, as I said earlier, there will be a couple of applications, right? There will be some banking application, any particular telecommunication application, or any e-commerce application. We will have all these applications in place. Okay. In Parabank or any particular application, see, the URL is different, but opening the browser is same. But you can't give, for example, it is a model-based tool. You are the Tricentis owner. How you can understand that the username or password we need to pass it from here? For example, it is on the right side. It is on the left side. Here it is called it as username. Here it is calling as email ID. Okay, the password is below, but this password or email ID on the right side. Okay, so how you will automate it? You can't it, right? So you can't give for every application in the entire world. How you will give it? You can't give that. Surely you can't give that. So that's why what the Tricentis has done. So Tricentis is asking us to scan the module. Means, for example, see, there will be a login and logout pages, right? See here, you can scan the module. So you just right click on the module, just scan it. So this is what the Xscan is. Okay. So Xscan is used to scan the application to create the module. Okay. So you will scan it like this. Okay. So you will scan it. So you can scan the application. You can scan the API. You can scan the mobile. You can scan PDF. You can scan remote terminal, means remote desktop. And interesting concept is like you can scan the web drivers. You can scan the file scans. You can scan the Salesforce scanners. See how interesting it is. It is automating the front end application. It is automating API, mobile, PDF, okay, Salesforce, and it is automating API testing. What we need from one single tool, right? Simple. So this is how the Tosca is. Okay. So based on your application, you can scan your entire module. What are the modules you will have? You can scan all the modules from there. Okay. So based on the Xscan, what I thought is, I will tell you. Okay. So you can scan n number of modules. Okay. You can scan either the desktop application. You can scan anything in the application. Okay. So this is how you will use the Xscan. We will learn how we will do the Xscan, how exactly it will work, everything we will discuss. Okay. Next, test repository means in order to store your particular testing results, right? So you need to store somewhere. Okay. So for us, it will be stored in the respective seed line. Okay. See here the Tosca project. Okay. We will have common repository. What repository we are creating, everything we will have it. Okay. So means what the Tosca will do, Tosca is one of the components. Tosca will try to capture all this data and put it in your test repository. Okay. So put it in your test repository. It will save the work. That's it. Okay. Okay. Now you have understood that what are the components we will have and how it will look like. Okay. And next one, very important question. They will ask what are the sections in Tosca. Okay. So what are the sections in Tosca? We have majorly eight. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So 8 sections of Tosca. What are these sections? So we will have mainly 8 sections in Tosca that are, see, they will ask you. So can you please tell me what are the components we have? You need to tell them Tosca commander, executor, xscan, and deposit. If they are asking you, can you please elaborate it? You need to elaborate all these sentences in your own language. Okay. So give some pauses in between and you can tell the task. Okay. So what are the sections in Tosca? We have mainly 8 sections in Tosca. See, sections are nothing but it's a self-explanatory. Okay. When you are opening Tosca, you will have different sections. Okay. First one is like a requirement section. See, simple. It is similar to the software testing lifecycle. Simple. Okay. What we will do? First, we will do the requirement analysis, test plan. Next, we will go for the test case writing, test case execution, environment setup before that, and we will test execution and test closure, right? So similarly, first of all, we will have one of the component as, what is the one of the component we will have? Requirement. So what we will do it in the requirement? In the requirement section, we will clearly see what are the requirements we have. Okay, so clearly we will see what are the requirements, how to maintain, what is weight, how to link the test case, how much work you have completed. For example, there is a 2 to 3 weeks of duration of sprint. Okay, so 2 to 3 weeks. In these 2 weeks, in 1.5 week, how much work you have completed, how much work yet to be completed. So how you will see, right? So you will only see by a requirement, how much work you have completed it. Okay. So in that way, you will see what are the components we have, how to work on it. So based on that values, you will see all these values. Okay. Next one is like test plan. Means you will plan the testing, like what type of, how many testers we have, how to give. See, for example, there you can add a number of testers. Like for example, you have tester 1 with one particular name. You can add all these tester 2. Okay. So tester 2 you can see. So, okay. So we will have all our session start date and end date. Means the sprint duration time, how much program, how much progress you have completed it. Okay. So everything, you can add everything. What kind of, whether who is the session owner, is the admin, or we will have all these persons, right? So you can give some task, you can add some task. Okay. Everything we will discuss. Okay. Next one is like next components or next section is like module. Okay. Where you can scan the module, where you can do all our scanning of application. Means you are actually building the code, but you are not writing a single piece of code. That's where the advantage is. Means you're building the code like this. Means in Selenium, what we will do, we will build the code. Okay. Means in Selenium, we will try to build the code. But when you're building the code, it is very hard to write all these codes, right? So, but in Tosca, you're not writing single code at all, but you are automating it. Okay. See how interesting it is. Okay. Next one is like test cases. Once you have built your module, you need to drag your module into test cases. So if somebody is asking you what are the components, remember this picture. Okay. You will habituate it. Okay. Anyway, we will learn huge about it, right? So obviously you will learn everything in detail. Okay. So everything you will understand it. Okay. Next one, test case design. So what is test case design? You will design your test case. Means data driven testing. For example, you have all these data and you want to pass all these data at a time. Okay. You need to create a particular test sheet. Okay. You need to create a test sheet. And once the test sheet is done, you need to create the instances as tester 1, anything, tester 1, and you need to create, for example, tester 2. See, tester 2, you can create it. When you are creating it, you need to create your test data as well. For example, I want to pass this student name and exam name. Then what we will do? We will create that particular module attribute as a student name, and we will pass the data as exam. For example, see here, when you are seeing it, you can clearly give tester 1 student name here. Okay, tester 2 student name here, their exams. So now you can use the template and you can create, based on your instances, you can create the test cases. Don't remember anything. This is a bit complicated. You will understand one by one. Okay. First of all, you need to have the baby steps, right? So first of all, you need to open and see what are the components we have, how it will work, how exactly it is working. Everything I will explain. Okay. Next one is like execution. Okay. Means you have built it 10 test cases. Okay. Test case 1, test case 1, and you have test case 2. Okay. See, now I'm not telling on the project perspective. In project, we need to follow a folder structure. We need to follow. Here we are not following, but we will follow. Okay. So, for example, I have 2 test cases. What I will do, I will drag that into the execution list and I will run every test case at a time. Instead of running one test case, what I will do, I will run these both test cases at a time. Okay. So it is taking some time. So what you will do, you will create a particular folder. Okay. We will call sprint 1, something. Okay. So we will call sprint 1, and you want to run these 2 test cases in sprint 1. Okay. So what you will do, you will drag your test cases here. See, both test cases we are getting in one go. You can run these 2 test cases. Okay. So this is how the execution list will look like. Next, issues. Okay. So issues in the sense, what are the issues we have? Okay. So what are the bugs we have? So everything that issues, with respect to that issue, we will create everything. Okay. So I will tell you how to create it, how to create this feature ID, everything. What is the priority, severity? For example, there is a defect. What you will do, you will link that defect to these test cases. These test cases will be linked to the requirement. Then you will understand how many defects we have, how many defects we have closed it, everything we will have. Next one is very important, configurations. For example, you have 3 lower environments. Then you need to create 3 configurations. Okay. So for example, I will have configurations with the tester 1 or tester 2, anything. Okay. So based on your configurations, you need to create your, for example, we have lower environment 1, low 1, something. You will call in your project, right? So next low 2. Okay. So low 2. Now you will give all your credentials. For example, if you changed any credentials, you won't change your code here. You will link your respective that configurations into your test cases. Okay. So you will have all your test cases. Okay. Everything we will discuss. Just don't remember anything as of now. But from the interview perspective, if they really want you to test it from the scratch, means from the very basics, they will ask this question for sure. Okay. Excuse me. Yeah. So yeah. So we will have these sections in Tosca. Okay. So requirement, test planning, modules, test cases, test case design, execution list, issues and configurations. Majorly, what are the modules we will use it? Okay. They can ask this question from on Friday. We have an interview. In the interview, they have asked it. Okay. What they have asked, what is the company name? I forgot actually. So in that company, Wipro. So in Wipro, they have asked it. So models, what are the major things what you will use it? See, mostly this requirement testing, the requirements and test planning, we won't use most of the project. Since we are doing manual testing as well, we will have the others as well. What are the others? What are the other tools we will have? We will have Jira, right? So we will have Jira. Jira is Jira Confluence or Jira. Jira is one of the major tool for testing. Okay, means a defect management tool or no, it's not a test management tool, I can call it as, but we can add it. But it's a defect management where you can raise the defects, where you can put the requirements, where you can have your everything, right? So way long ago they have built it. Now they don't migrate to Tosca. Yes, they will plan it, but initially these two modules they won't use it. But from the interview perspective, you need to learn it. Mostly we will use modules, right? You in order to scan the modules, obviously you will use it. Okay. Next, test cases. Obviously you will use the test cases. Okay. Next, test case design means in order to use for the data driven testing, execution list. So these are the major modules you will use. Okay. So everything we will discuss in detail. Okay. Next questions would be, what kind of tool is Tosca? Model based tool. If they are asking you model based tool, you just explain. We will get everything in a particular module, and already the code is written there. So you will use that particular. We will call that tool as a model based tool. Next, what are the components of Tosca? Tosca commander, executor, xcan, and repository. You already know all these things. Next, very important question. Which language of Tosca is using on the backend? Okay. On the backend, what we are using? It is using C#. Okay. So guys, you already know this. Just have a look. Okay. So Tricentis Tosca is developed in C# language for this majority of its part. Okay. Next one. Okay. What is the full form of Tosca? See, actually, the Tosca doesn't has any full form. But if somebody is asking you, then you tell them like topology and orchestration specification for cloud application. Okay, simple. But see, you will come across different what do you call different interviewers, right? So somebody, they will think like, I only know all these things. I know I am good in Tosca. They will think like that. If somebody is asking you what is the full form of Tosca, then only you just answer. Okay, like topology and orchestration specification for cloud application. So actually, there is no what we call the full form of Tosca. Okay, so officially there is no full. Okay, next one. What version of Tosca? Okay, what version of Tosca you are using in your current project? Okay, so what is the version we are using? We are using 16.0 patch 2. See, don't mention patch 2. Just tell them like 16.0. Okay, so they will ask you what patch it is. Patch 2. What is patches? For example, you have launched the 16.0. Okay, so 16.0 you have launched it. Okay, in the market. Now there is a lot of issues in 16.0. Then they have launched it as patch 1. Okay, so patch 1 they have launched it. Now you need to convert, means all the defects will be fixed, and they will release the patch 2. Patch 2 they will release it. So patch 2 is a stabilized version, to be very precise. Okay, next, previous versions of Tosca. For example, since you will tell them, yeah, I have good experience in Tosca, so you need to tell them what is the previous versions of Tosca is 14.0 patch 3. Okay, so 14.0. So I have asked you to, even today I'm asking you, you just go and Google and search for it. Latest version of Toast means it should be above 16.0 or equal to 16.0, right? So the latest version in the market, what we are using is 16.0, but there will be a latest versions in Tosca as well. Okay, so you just tell me tomorrow. Okay, you just think it. But for interview question, they will definitely ask this question for sure. 100%. If they want to go from very basics, they will ask you what are the components of Tosca, what are the sections of Tosca. Okay, so what is the current version of Tosca you are using? The current version is 16 and previous version is 14.0. If they are asking patch 16. For 16.0, you will call it as 16.0 or 16.0 patch 2. Okay, and it is a patch 1. Okay, so next one. What are the sections in Tosca? What are the sections we have? We have majorly 8 sections, which we have discussed. And next, from here, see, what is the methodology that the Tosca tool is based on? Okay, so see, what no one will ask this question generally, but we'll have some other folks, right, who are very senior, who are very familiar with the Tosca, right, say they have asked this question. See, I have noted down all the interview questions which I have asked previously. So I have put everything here. Okay. So what is the methodology that the Tosca tool is based on is like linear queue methodology. Just remember this. Okay. Don't go deep dive into it since it is nothing on the back end methodology, what they are using. It doesn't bother us. Okay. So simple. So it's a based on the linear queue methodology. No one will ask it. If somebody is asking you, then you need to know that, right? So just have it. So next one is like what type of testing can be done with Tosca? What type of testing we can? Okay. So using Tosca, you can perform a GUI testing. Okay. Graphic user interface, we will call it as. Okay. GUI testing, web application testing, mobile testing, API testing, BA report, data integrity. You can use data integrity modules and you can do data warehouse testing, exploratory testing in the sense, if you don't know about what application it is, you will explore yourself into the testing and you will do that. Okay. So you can do any kind of application testing. You can do anything. Mobile, you can do desktop, you can do. See, for example, there is a two tools, okay, which is performing this web application testing, mobile testing, API testing, and so on. One is with code, and another one is without code. Okay. See, you need to think from the client perspective, not like Indian perspectives. Okay. So Indians, what we will do, even though it is easy to use this since without code, right? So without code and with code. So it is very, we will go for the with code only since it is the open source. But when compared to foreign, right? So they won't work as Indians. Okay. They will definitely preferred for the codeless automation too. Okay. You can think, you can ask one question. Like, for example, you are telling they will only go for Tosca. They won't go for Selenium. How? Right. So first I said, how we can sit and work for 8 hours being an Indians. Yeah, I'm an Indian. I am proud to tell that. But foreigners are not like that. In classroom, if you teach more than 4 hours, they will go. In our institute, from morning 6 to evening 8 o'clock, we will sit it in the same class. We will go 1 hour break or half an hour break, a lunch break. But we will stay. But in foreign, right? So mostly they won't waste more time. Okay. So what they will do? They will put the money, they will invest the money, okay, and they will start using the easiest code. Since, see here, if somebody has already automated it and giving the code like this, you need to use either Python or Selenium. Sorry, yeah, Python and Selenium. You need to use it. Okay, but here there is no code involved at all. There is no code at all here. See, there is no code. It is easy, right? If there is no code at all, it is very, very, very easy to automate any application. That's why we will go for Tosca command. According to me, after one or couple of years, like 2 to 3 years, entire Selenium will be gone. The thing is like AI is coming like anything, right? So what is AI? Without a human intervention, we will do it, right? So which is similar to the automation, right? So which is similar to Tosca. What we will do? We are not doing anything. We are not writing any code. We are not seeing any code here. Just it is a drag and drop tool. It is a drag and drop tool. Why it is a drag and drop tool? You can drag your, if for example, you want to take the screenshot, you will drag and drop it here. So that's why Tosca is called drag and drop tool as. Okay, simple. Okay. So till here, anyone has any questions? I'm open to questions. If it is a small or it is a big, see, we don't know anyone faces here, right? So we won't judge anyone. It is a, if it is a small doubt, just ask it. If it is a big doubt, also ask it. Don't think like small and big doubt. Just ask some questions. Like, for example, you have any question in your mind, so you can ask.
Hello Rajesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Rajesh, currently, like I'm working in the Australian product-based company as a manual tester.
Okay.
So there, like my responsibility is to create the test cases and like doing, I mean, the ERP model. So we have to do the small calculation and all these things.
Mhm.
And like as you explain, like test planning and all these things. So in Tosca automation also we have the same responsibility as a manual? And if it's yes, then like what is the benefit that we are moved from manual to automation? So I just want like little bit
Good
clarification.
question. Good. Yeah. So we will divide this part to two things. First one is like manual testing and automation testing. How it is different. Like for example, you are working on any project. How it is easy to use it means how you are running it. Means for example, see I will tell you one example. We have tester one as a manual tester. Okay. So
Yeah.
tester one as manual tester and tester two as a automation tester. So he's a manual tester and automation tester. So suddenly in our applications, we'll have huge number of regression test cases, huge number of sanity test cases, huge number of end-to-end test cases, right? So I'm not talking about the current release. But when you're doing the regression testing, will you, being a manual tester, you know how difficult it is to do the actual regression test cases. So most probably if you are not touching that, for example, you have any enhancement of the code, okay? In future, there will be a production defect, right? So in order to reduce that same, manual testing and automation testing is same. How it is same? You are automating same means what manual test cases you have, same thing you will automate it. But it's when there is only difference. For example, I have 100 test cases to run, okay, only for current release, and I have 50 regression test cases. For example, you will have only two testers. These test cases are very complicated. Okay, every time you need to place the order, you need to go and you need to check the database one by one, for example. Okay, for example, huge number of calculations we have. You need to calculate what is the total price of it. After a discount, what is the price you got it. For example, there is a banking project, how much credit limit you have done it, how to increase it, how to calculate it, how to get the average of it, how to get the sum of it, how to get the count of it. So everything you need to do it manually. And while you're running the test cases also, it is very difficult to you to run all these 100 test cases. But in Tosca, once you have automated only once, you can go and run the test cases in different machines. For example, today morning you came to office and you have automation code with Tosca or any tool. Now you are running your distributing your execution. You're distributing your execution in different servers. Now you will right click and you will schedule the job. And tomorrow you will come, you will go and sleep. The Tosca will run all the test cases and it will give the result. Okay, this
Yeah.
is CI/CD, continuous integration and continuous testing. Yes, obviously that's where the point automation is. So, for example, you have two testers. It will take huge amount of time. Okay, but these two testers is going to home and they are sleeping, but they are doing actual work. The productivity got increased. Instead of two testers, we will have one testers with automation only, who can do both manual and automation. So that's where nowadays everyone is asking you. For example, you go to an interview, they will ask what automation tool you know. They will ask for sure. Why they are asking? So you need to know. Then I can use either you as a manual tester. I can use 50% of your effort into manual and 50% effort into automation. Okay,
Yeah.
you got that point, right?
Yes.
So that's where the automation is using. And coming to Tosca, so you are keep on writing this code and you are failing and you are writing, see, complicated application. This is very easy. Okay, so this is the web application. So it is very easy. How to handle desktop application, how to handle an Excel sheet, how you will do the data privacy, how you will have these particular API testings, how you will do database testing, how you will establish the connections. For example, I want to capture the data from the backend database and send it over here. How difficult it is? Very difficult. And one more major concern is like, for example, you have built at this. Okay. For example, an X tester has built at this. Now they will leave the company. They will give a 50 to 20 50 to 60 percentage or 30-40% as a KT, knowledge transfer. Now you gone. Okay, now you gone, and the person who has come, he only know Python, for example. Now he has to learn this. At the same time, when you are comparing with your client as well, for example, there will, you said Australian client. Now
Yeah.
when you are giving demo to the Australian client, you need to explain everything this. We don't know whether he knows that or not. Even though he knows it, it is very hard. You know how where you have put this one, where you have put other things. Okay, but the Tosca is not like that. So since there is no code, it is easy to understand. So you will tell that, yeah, these all are these print requirements. We have added this, we have added weights, we have that. We have all these execution list. Okay, so you can easily right click and run it. But here you will have this test ng framework. You will have BDD, Cucumber. You need to navigate from one point to other point. And one more thing is like nowadays all applications are dynamic applications, not like static applications. How you will handle dynamical? For example, if there is one ID is missing, again you need to commit here, again you need to do it. But here, if it is an ID is missing, you will scan the same module. Means you will rescan the module. I will tell you. Okay. So we have huge differences, and going forward, no one is ready to use Selenium. I'm pretty much sure. And one more thing, see, one interesting concept I will tell you. This is the Vision AI, where you all guys need to be focused. No one will teach in the entire market, either in Hyderabad, Bangalore. No one will teach this Vision AI. I will teach it. Okay. The reason being is right. See, the word AI, they haven't put like normally since AI is evolving. Okay. So the AI, the Vision AI is very much important for the future concepts. Okay. See, you can in normally after, see, you all guys know, since you have manual testing touch, you have manual testing touch, right? So for example, after development only you will test it, right? But using Vision AI, without development, actual code is developed, you can automate the code using the mock diagrams. Okay, using the mock diagrams you can easily, for example, this application is yet to develop. But what I will do, being a business analyst, will do, see, for example, they will try to replicate it. They will put it like demo here. Okay, so they will put demo. So this something like this. Okay, so demo web shop. Okay, so this is a demo web shop. Means they will try to replicate this application on the boxes. Like, now what you will do, the developer will develop it. The developer will develop the code. But what you will do, being a tester, you won't write test cases. You will directly do the automation by scanning the modules. See how unique concept it is. Once it is comes into the market, okay, then everything is gone. See, you can scan your, means you won't write any code here also. You will just use the mock-up diagram. See, Vision AI. We need to have separate license. That is a different story. But you can scan this module. Means without development, actual development is done, you can do it. Okay. So very much important concept. Means very unique concepts we have. Means everything is AI now, nowadays AI, right? So you can use this Vision AI, but this is almost, when we spoke with Tricentis, we have a contact with Tricentis as well. Since I'm a architect, a test lead architect, so I know, I spoke with the company folks as well. So when we are getting the license, right, we need to have a representative from one company. Okay.
Sir, I do have one last question.
One second, one. Yeah. So yeah, somebody is asking one question. Tell me.
Yes, sir. In like my current company, we do have two projects. So
Hmm.
they told us to take the training of the Tosca also and the automation in the Java also. So, sir, parallelly, sir, I'm learning both the technology. So, sir, it is comfortable with the learning. I know the little bit Java, but also I'm learning the Tosca also. So, sir, it is any little bit challenging or it is easy to manage, like because it's a company requirement, sir. So I have to do that.
Yeah, right. I understood it. See, For example, in that case, what you will do, what I will suggest, since I know these pretty well, go one by one. One by one in the sense, if you want to parallelly, there is a drop down. So check that how you will automate the drop down in Selenium. For example, I will teach you, for example, on the next concept, I will tell you how to scan the modules. Here in Selenium, you can learn it, how to identify the identifier. But one thing is like when you're parallelly learning, you will be habituated for Tosca since there is no code at all. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah. But parallel, one more advantage is like when you're learning the Tosca concept, try to implement the same concept in Selenium as well. Then it is
Okay.
very easy you to understand the concept. Okay. So yeah. So you can do that. So if you have any doubt, you can ask it. Then I will help.
Yeah.
Okay.
So basically, sir, both I can continue. Like currently, they are just start with the core Java, so it is a
Hmm.
good to go, sir, or I have to
Yeah,
stop
yeah.
that Selenium batch and continue with it.
Okay, you are learning a backend on the other with other institute or how it is.
No, actually, the company itself hire one like for us for the internal
Okay,
employees.
okay,
Yeah.
internal. See, if you have time, you have time with, then yes, obviously you can do parallelly. Okay, so just
Yes.
try to learn it. But
Okay.
if you want to choose one thing, go for Tosca. That is my
Okay.
suggestion.
Yeah.
Okay, the thing is
Yes.
like I told you, right, you need to write the code. Who will learn? See, somebody is telling you I need to write. See, this is not a development. For
Yeah.
example, we are talking about development, right? Obviously you need to write the code for sure. That too, nowadays AI is comes into the picture. They are slowly they are converting into bot or something. It's gone. Okay, so now you need to understand it very clearly, and you need to habituate for that. Means you need to slowly upgrade yourself for non-coding tool or paid tool. See, in US market, mostly they will concentrate on the paid tools on. That's where the interesting concept is. They don't want to keep on writing the code for at least for testing. Okay, so that's why this is a very good tool, and we have high potential. High potential. We are not using at least 80% of Tosca. Now they have started using this 80%. Okay, so I will
Yes.
tell you when we are having classes. So go for it. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys. Tomorrow we will discuss about how to install it. Means installation. We need to do the installation, and I will tell you everything, every part of the Tosca, how it will look like, how you need to launch, what version of Tosca you are using, what is the current version. Each and everything I will explain you tomorrow. And one more announcement is like you need to contact the management team and you need to install the tool before we start the session. Okay, the thing is like you parallelly you need to do it. Means once it is after class is done, I will give one task. Hey guys, do this. Hey guys, do that. So you need to do it and send the screenshot in the WhatsApp. We will create the group. Okay, so how proactive you are, in that way you can learn the more subject. Okay, we will restrict, and mainly I will teach in the project perspective, not like a general theory. You can get it in from the YouTube as well, but I will tell you what is the baby steps, what is the first step, what is the second step, what is the third step, what is the fourth step. By completing this course, if somebody is coming you suddenly, hey, do this work, then you will able to do for sure if you are learning proper and you are asking questions in the class. Okay, so now from tomorrow the actual classes will be started, and you just contact your management team for installation of the tool. The payment details, everything, you just talk with them. They will tell you everything. So we guys will connect tomorrow, and we will kickstart our automation journey, and we will learn it. Okay. So before we are closing, anyone has any doubts, guys?
Hi Rajesh, this is Amar.
Yeah, tell me.
I have a couple of queries.
Yes, go ahead.
In Tosca, is it possible to capture the screenshot of application after completion of the test case execution or test step execution?
Yes. See, there is a concept called Doco Snapper. Okay.
Hmm.
So what the Doco Snapper will do mainly, the Doco Snapper will take each and every screenshot. For example, there is a defect. When you are running a test cases, you identified a defect. Then, in order to show the defect, you need to take the capture. You need to capture of it, right? Else, there is another case. Once your testing is done, as a test proof document, you need to put your like you need to open Word document, and you need to take each and every screenshot and you need to store it. But you need not to do anything here. You need to enable the Doco Snapper. Okay, there will be a concept called Doco Snapper. In that Doco Snapper, you need to give the exact path. For example, if it is a project, you need to give your shared drive path. Okay. So what it will do, it will take the each and every step screenshot. Okay. It will take the screenshot of each and see here, there is a Doco Snapper. You need to give your path. I have given D drive Doco Snapper. Okay. So in the D drive Doco Snapper, else you can change your path as well. It will take each and every test step and it will store it. Else, if you want to take only one screenshot, okay, so if you want to take only one screenshot, only that page screenshot alone, then you can use Daybox Fix. Okay.
Okay. One more query is suppose if there is any crash happened for the Chrome while executing the scripts or any network issue, is it possible to generate any recovery scenarios to launch browser again in the middle of the execution?
See, you know recovery scenario?
I have idea. I have
Uh,
10 plus years of experience in UFT. So my project
okay,
is going
okay.
to migrate to Tosca. So you
Uh,
know the scope and license costs of UFT, right?
yeah. No, I'm surprised that how you're telling recovery scenario. Okay, anyway, yes, we have that step. We need to create the recovery scenarios for every test cases. Even recovery, if you have created recovery scenarios, you need to create the cleanup scenarios as well. See, not like you are using only one thing. If, for example, what the Tosca will do, there is a sudden crash has happened. Okay, this T-box takes screenshot, you will put it in the recovery scenario so that it will take one screenshot of it. That is a different story. Now the page is crashing. For example, the major part where the execution is problem is like when you're executing 100 test cases. If one test case got failed, it should not affect the other test cases, right? So what we will do for every test cases in the folder structure, what we are talking, that we will tell you. Like recovery scenario, we can add it. And in recovery scenario, what are the test steps you want to? For example, I want to close the browser. Okay. So for example, if the test case got failed, the recovery scenario will pick it up and it will close the browser and it will clear the cache. We will give it. Okay. So we will tell the Tosca to close the browser so that it will give happy path for the upcoming test case. Yes, we have cleanup recovery scenario. And one more concept is like cleanup scenarios. See, if somehow they have missed the recovery scenario, but that crashing of the page is very crucial functionality. So we have a backup called cleanup scenario. If the recovery scenario is also failing by any chance, we will give same test steps in the cleanup scenario. Definitely 100% a sure shot. You will close the browser, it will take the screenshot and it will show it to you. Yeah.
Okay. After development completion of all the test cases, is it possible to add these steps for each and every test case? Or while
Yes.
developing the script only, do we need to mention this?
See, as part of folder structure, you need to do it. That is mandatory in Toast, actually. See, after once your test case is development is done, then see what you will do. First of all, you will scan your modules and you will attach all your test cases here. Once the test cases is done, after that, you will definitely you need to add the recovery scenario. And one more thing is like as a sample run, you can't run the recovery scenario. It will only work in the execution. That I will tell you. That is a different story. When it comes, I will tell you. Yes, as part of standard folder structure, you need to add the recovery scenario. Post your test case development is done.
Okay. After development of all the test cases also, we can add these things,
Yes, we
right?
can add it. See, we can create
Okay.
that. See, that's where, yes, we need to follow that. The thing is like, for example, you are automating only one single application. You need not to keep on creating the same again and again. You will have a concept called reusable tester blocks where you can create the libraries on the level here like this. On the generic libraries, you can create it. Okay. So you can add what are the recovery scenarios we have. Again, you can drag that recovery scenarios into your execution list. Sorry, recovery scenario. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
Rajesh.
Rajesh, one question.
Yeah,
That's it from me. Thanks.
that's it. Huh? Okay. Very good
Uh,
questions you have asked it. But somebody get confused. Don't confuse, guys. He know UFT and he has some idea, so he is asking it. So a small questions like you just don't like what the SAR is telling reusable tester block. What exactly it is? What is recovery scenario? The word is very big. Don't confuse. I will tell you. Okay, yeah.
Rajesh, you are telling like all the models we can scan it, it will cover all the test cases, means it will cover as positive and negative as well.
Yes. See, how you're using is different. For example, very good question. See, for example, there is a, see, I want to verify whether this, for example, this register button. In order to click the register button, what you need to do? You need to see whether it is visibility or not. Okay. So as part of negative test cases, when we are clicking this, when it is opening or not. So you can, yes, you can do positive, negative. See, only positive you will scan it. Is equal to is positive, not equal to negative. Yes, you can do whatever test cases you want to automate it, you can automate it. But how you are using it is, that is where the important is. Yes, it will cover both positive scenarios and negative scenarios. For example, in the positive scenario is like in the login page, you will give email ID and password, you will click it in the login button. You won't pass the value as password and you will click on it. If there is any error message, then you will tell the Tosca to capture that error message and fail the test. Yes, you can do it. Hello?
Yes,
Yeah.
thanks, sir.
Very good. Very good question. Next.
Rajesh, how many days it will take to complete
Yeah.
the entire
We are planning
Okay.
to complete from 40 days, 40 to 45 days, or way below that. But the thing is, like in here, in our batches, in my batches especially, what I will do is like, for example, in the market, recently they have added one concept. See, no, obviously, for every, if they based on the market, they will increase the concept, right? So suddenly, in the 16.2 or anything, right, or 16.0, 16.1, they have added something. Okay, now I need to cover it. Yeah, I will take 1 or 2 classes extra. Like if there is an interview happened, and somehow I thought like, okay, they can get these questions as well, I will add those concepts. So it will take plus or minus, but I will
Okay.
cover everything in detail. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else, guys? Okay. Okay, guys. So I will take it as no. So you just contact the management team for the further, like how to do the installation and how to get the everything. We will give it to you. Don't worry about it. You come with an empty mind. You don't know anything about Tosca. We will fill whole Tosca in your mind in dynamic way as well as the project perspective. Okay, not like you need to tell. See, in answering also you need to tell in our project. You need to start like that. If somebody is asking you how you have used a recovery scenario in our project, you need to start something like that. That guidance also I will provide. Don't worry about it. Just since you have somebody has manual testing experience, somebody don't have everything. Don't think like I need to learn manual testing if doesn't know it. But you need to know how to click it, how to do it. So normal things you need to know, which I will cover. Okay. So that's it, guys. You just connect with management team for further process. And from tomorrow, we will start the actual class. Okay, guys?
Okay, Raj.
Okay, guys. See you all tomorrow. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you all.